to turn this round because, you know, they're the heavy favourites. They're the number 1 seed. Everyone expects Endpoints to win every season. If they don't, I mean, that could cause dramatic changes towards the roster and the organisation.
Certainly does feel that way. Heavy implications for that conference spot, right? Because I think the only other event they can actually get it done in is ESL Challenger League, right? That's the other event that they can play in. But
they don't play Challenger League.
No, they are in. They are in.
Really? No, they choose against Challenger League. They don't play it.
I'm telling you, mate. I'm looking at it now. They're in the lower. They're in the lower bracket. League. They play against the winners of 9 and Ecstatic, which is played Tuesday at 6.
Okay, because I know they dropped out of advance because they know they get a spot for the conference.
They got
elsewhere.
They got an invite back because obviously they played in conference. So
that's where they got it.
MMS starting things off, doesn't need an invite to the Challenger League. He's more than happy to put up a challenge under Palace here in Premiership. As Surreal punches in the digits, get that bomb down. Thomas will find a second, ultimately Max a third. Apparently someone's died in the kill feed. I'm not sure if you saw that there. It was like, I don't know, someone vanished. Oh, Artist lagged out.
You hate to see it. You really do.
Now, I don't know what that looks like, because if he's lagged out, you know, was it before the round? It was after damage, we've been told, so...
You hate to see it.
Unlucky, mate. That's going to be a tech pause.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. I mean, hopefully we can get it sorted. I mean, quite unfortunate. You know, we've had very, very minimal tech issues the entirety of the series. We go for an extended break, come back, first round, and he's gone. But, you know... I don't think it would have made too much of a difference anyway, because, you know, for Endpoint, that looked pretty comfortable. They just flew out towards the A side, excuse me, and they got the bomb down early doors, right? Post-spawn sets up, there's no way the C side are getting back in towards that one. So, what we do know, first round on the board for the T side of Endpoint, good start for them. Now it means money to come forward for Endpoint going through. You see Khalil, potentially even an AK coming out on towards the second round, where for the CT side of Viperio, same can't be brought in terms of investment. If they want to force in, at the very most, we'll see a couple of MP9s, some upgraded pistols, but it's going to be very janky. I don't even think it's a bad idea, maybe even just the eco, and hope that they can, you know, stick around that 2K mark, have some money going in towards the next, potentially go in towards the likes of, you know, FAMAS's full armor, or, you know, even in your likes of the M4A1S's half armor, bit of utility. I think that even would, in my eyes, be a slightly better buy.
Yeah, I think for them as well right now Endpoint obviously starting on the T side, they've got a little bit of work to be done in terms of, you know, getting a lead established. That's what they're looking for right now. It's like just building on the lead, starting to put the building blocks together, just extrapolate the gap a little bit more so, because we were talking about how consistent Viperio have been across both sides of the coin, right? I guess the same argument could be made for Endpoint, but the bar's a little higher for Endpoint than it is for Viperio, and I don't think the Viperio lads are going to hate me for saying that, because I think that's very true. You know, we're expecting, you know, especially look at Ancient, right? Map 2 of the BO5, right? Endpoint were down 7-8, but they had the CT side in the second half. They won 7 rounds on the T side, and they lose the game 16-13. You look at Vertigo as another example of that, right? 8-7, Endpoint only take 8 rounds on the CT side, and then can only piece together another 5 on the T side. We're just expecting a little more from them, and hopefully this extended break heading into map 4 is just going to give them that extra bit of push.
Exactly that, precisely. Well, thankfully, Artist is back in the server. And we're back on the way momentarily to get things started round number 2. As we mentioned, Viperio, they force in. It's going to be MP9s across the board, and that is what we see. MP9s, half armor, all across, and, well, only a smoke in terms of the utility. It's a rough force buy, but, hey, we'll try and see if they can make it work. For Endpoint, it's pretty conclusive.
Thomas finding Artist already, so his return going to be long-lived. 4 MP9s for the rest of the squad, though. Don't think this is going to be looking too comfy. Although I say that, Thomas has gotten a little bit complacent on ramp, and MMS will be able to punish for it. So, do get a number back. 4 versus 4. Nertz, in the meantime, wants to make his way through connector and pressure the A site. MMS going to be caught out with the rifle. And, well, down to 3 SMGs here against 4 very hungry Endpoint players.
That's a Gizmy. In behind, gets picked off by Max. He leaves Giraffe in a rough spot here, and now all alone. 1 versus 4, swung and drops Surreal, all too aware. A clean-cut, comfortable second on the board for Endpoint. And a much better start off the back of 2 maps, which weren't too favourable.
every single game so far has gone to 16-13 as well. That's another bit of added context I'll throw in there. We've played 3 maps of Counter-Strike so far, right? And out of the 90 rounds that could be played, right? We've watched 87 of them. You know, that's how close it's been. 87 rounds across 3 maps. You know, normal BO5s, I think, average like 115, 100 something. I don't know. Nice. Oh, a knife kill for Artist. Hello. Money in the bank. AWP in the next round. He'll be welcoming that one on in. Nicely done from MHL to find another. Artist MP7 still kicking. That's an extra $600 on top of the $1,500 he earned beforehand. MMS has made its way through the stairs, or through the con smoke towards stairs. Not going to happen. End of the round does go in Endpoint's way, but that is a hell of a lot of money into the pockets of the AWPer for Viperio.
Potentially. He might have to pick one up, he will. That's good. The knife has given Artist the money, the funds to work with in terms of an AWP, full armor, and full utility as well for Viperio. Here's where the response has to be emphatic. Coming through in towards first full buy for them on their CT side. Endpoint, a great start with 3 rounds under their belts. This is where they could be halted. MHL, he himself, got an AWP to work with. Support not as strong with that Galil, but let's see what they can do with it.
Oh, please clear this angle. He played it yesterday against ITP and killed 2 people. I'm getting flashbacks already. King hasn't checked it, although MHL has just been caught completely off guard by it. He thought Nerds was holding it down. Surely I won't die. No, sir. Not the case. Indeed, the Rifleman is able to take down the AWPer before the round even starts. 4v4. Likelihood is, though, for Viperio, I mean, some information and some knowledge that they've taken mid, but you don't really have this round of lock and key in terms of knowing where Endpoint want to take it, the direction that they travel. They are going to hear some noise being made towards the ladder. Here we go, Giraffe. 1, make it 2 with the M4. Heads are rolling out towards short, and Viperio, surely that's the entryway back onto the board. 3-0 right now. Mighty Max finds the first of 4 required in the clutch.
MMS posted up. And Thomas will find one more. He expected it back to a 2 versus 2, and a molly in towards jungle denies that rotation. Both players stacked in towards mid, and Giraffe fortunate. And Artist falling. Oh,
nicely
Thomas,
done, Thomas. 6-6 stuff. That's unreal. All right, Thomas. All right, mate. I was going to say, that's the first opportunity, and that felt like Viperio's way onto the board. Just when I start to talk about it, Thomas has got other plans, putting Viperio back down to pistols. Artist has gone for a Mag 7. I like it. Shotgun, close range. Maybe he wants to send it towards apartments and try and catch him out on a B play, but by the looks of things, he's actually taking it towards underpass. Now that, fair play. Oh, someone's going to walk into him. Watch.
Oh,
no
he's
way.
waiting.
Surreal. Oh, he turns away, he turns back. No, Artist. I thought it was going to happen. I thought the Mag 7 was going to find it, but no. Not meant to be. Thomas. Oh, 6 shot from Thomas. This man's on rails.
Thomas is coming out flying now in towards Mirage. He has been unbelievable. He's crisp, seriously crisp. AK collected, but not for much longer. Thomas will fall just as sing his praises. A 5-7 will pick him off. Some grade, at the very least for Viperio, but it might even be a better option to save.
Maybe. I mean, for Giraffe certainly is. You know, you got an AK and a 1v3, half armor. Sure, maybe you think about the attempt just because you might be able to put yourself on the board, but yeah, you can see, right? Giraffe is backing away, spotted out by the AWP. Does not want to challenge here on the retake, and considering he has no kit, it's a wise decision to be making. That bomb will expire, and it will be a 5th on the board. Endpoint. A staggering start. What an unbelievable performance they've had so far.
Yep, that's it. I mean, we said for Giraffe, just keep that AK ticking. I mean, it's better than nothing. But for Viperio, they are struggling. This CT side cannot get underway, and this is why we were saying, usually, they ban this map. It's more often than not, they're insta-ban. They go for Dust 2, despite beating 1 bit on it yesterday. And I think it may, well, from the early signs have been the wrong decision. Because right now, It's not looking great. I mean, they are really struggling. Endpoint look unbelievable. And this is a map in which normally you look towards individuals like Nerds as being just unstoppable on. But it's Thomas who's come out the gate flying. Mighty Max not doing too shabby himself with 6-0 yet to die.
Pretty decent start from the big man. See if Viperio can start to put up some staggering numbers. MHL already finding the opening kill. Orp just so clinical in this best of 5. They have been for both parties, I feel like. Artist has had an unbelievable performance with the Orp through this entire series so far. For Endpoint, MHL, I mean, maybe a little less prominent in the kill feed with the Orp in his hands, but certainly has had his fair share of moments as well. Great shot from Artist. Just when I speak of him, he shall appear.
Jump spot now, a little bit quiet. He'll be tested momentarily. Giraffe spotted out, dropping a smoke, and gonna fall back over towards Tarek. Posting up by bench as he waits for the push to come through. Gizmy comes in for support, spotting one, but a labour spray. Thankfully, Giraffe will bail him out.
Yeah, now man advantage goes in favour of Viperio. Molly towards Card to try and displace this Giraffe angle. In the meantime, Thomas is wandering up short. There's a man in towards Connector though. MMS had that one read like a book. Mighty Max and MHL 2v4. Waiting patiently for the bomb to end up in his palm here, Giraffe. There you go, Artist dropping it. Second kill should come in soon after. Indeed, it's the AK to finish the round, just as it was started, really. 5-1, Viperio get themselves involved.
Oh, where we are right now, for Viperio, it's a great start, and more needed. Consistency across the board is a bit of a necessity for them. Already 5 rounds for Endpoint over the first 6 is pretty substantial for the T side, and they need to just continue ticking things along. For Viperio, I'm impressed with what we've seen in that round, but across the board it's been slightly slow. Now they seem to be awake at the wheel. Let's see if they can make this a competitive affair. We've seen back-to-back 8-7 halves in the last 2 maps. More the same, maybe.
I think of Vertigo, and I think Viperio came back from behind, right? I think to Ancient, Viperio came back from behind. It's another common theme, right, is that even when they start on the T side or the CT side, they don't discount themselves from any comeback. They don't discount themselves from any opportunity. 4v5, Ping takes an early exit to the AWP of MHL, who has been fairly influential these first few rounds. Still doable here for Viperio, a minute on the clock.
It's slow, right? I mean, Viperio, yes, the numbers don't look favourable, but decent crossfire setup. MS just expecting some ramp push to come through, and a great timing on the smoke. You're going to see on the other side of it, could line up a couple. 1, looking for 2, not going to be able to convert. Thomas will trade.
Artist still in towards CT. Surely they know about him, though. There's a flank coming out, a Molotov on top of him, so he has to jump away. Giraffe on a flank. Bomb plant comes in. Surely MHL starts to think about the opportunity that someone could be behind. And well, he will have to now because Giraffe finds the kill, sits in the molly, tries to find the AWPer. Gizmy will trade. Artist to double down. It's Surreal in the clutch. And he gets taken down by Gizmy. And that's a second on the board for Viperio.
Needed. A double coming through from Gizmy's huge again. We've kind of said he's one of those players who at times has been quiet in this series. When he steps up, he makes a serious impact. And there's another prime example of it. And hope to be saved in towards the next. Gizmy with the AK as well. That buy is going to be pretty substantial. Support is not too bad for Endpoint. Not exactly the same scenario. Yes, they can buy in, but it might be a little bit rough around the edges, hence why they're going for just pistols in towards Ryan the Raids. I think it's a smart decision when they're thinking of things in a more macro sense, a long-term scope of vision here. Viperio, a really good opportunity for them to get themselves up to 3.
Now towards mid, Artist not taking any guesses or any second thoughts as to the idea that Endpoint could have mid-control. It is just pistols here for Endpoint. They opt for a half buy rather than a full investment. Waiting now to see what the play is, and it's one towards A. MMS drops a smoke to his left over the top. Does find the first. MHL trades to a 4v4, but a rifle in the wrong hands can shake this round in quite the way that Viperio wouldn't want it to. Ping has spotted a jump from Palace, and he's still got to be cautious for behind. Nertz back turns. Ping just emerges through the smoke, and he's able to take him down. So that's the majority of the threat here. Endpoint, you know, the late lurk could have won them the round. Instead now, it's just these pistols to walk into the rifles effectively. And it should be a third now for Viperio.
It should be, right? I mean, yes, they're doubling back over towards B, and the B site is open, thankfully. We're seeing Giraffe just come back into his back pillar, show some presence, deny them getting too much space to work with. I mean, individually should be fine here, no problems asked. Into towards mid, bit of aggression coming through here. That might even tempt the rotation back towards A if they're cautious of a mid-split towards that A site, but a smoke will deny that presence, deny that control, and Pink on re-aggressing towards connector.
There you go.
Bomb.
As you said, C4 coughed up. No time left. MHL looking for a way, and Thomas is just going to try and save the M4. No point going for this round, and not enough time on the clock to run in and die and give it up. So instead, he's just stuck with it. Have to use it in the next round. Ultimately, Viperio to a third, and they do all right in keeping numbers high as well. That's important. Round number 9 up next. But just beforehand, there is a map pause. I'm guessing a timeout now for Endpoint to discuss what they want to do heading into a full buy. And one that's quite important because, again, money isn't ideal for them.
Yeah, again, you know, what started so well, we're now into a point where for Endpoint, Viperio hot on the heels, right behind them. And a full buy to come through, yes, as expected in towards the next. But if this doesn't go well in towards round number 9, Endpoint, not only does their economy re-broken once again, but Viperio should be able to, without too much fuss, get themselves up to a 5-all scoreline. This more or less has to be around 1 for Endpoint up to 6, or else they completely lose control of momentum. And, of course, the lead following suit.
5-0, wasn't it, at the start of this game as well?
It was.
So as quick as people would have thought, oh, Endpoint win the first 5, they're going to win the next 11. Viperio could be given the same treatment, as you say. Artist out towards middle, missed shot. Nertz has opened things up beautifully here for the CT side. A second frag is uncalled for from MHL. Pinged us trade, MMS a third, and it's ended in disaster for Endpoint because they were a step ahead, but somehow end up a whole piece behind.
That's it. 3 versus 2. Low HP on towards Ping means they can even potentially see this one as a 2 versus 2 because Ping doesn't really have anyone else near him to trade. In towards window. Just a slither of HP to work with and just falling straight into a trap. It's great for information, but it's bad for losing the man advantage.
It's just, I don't know. Bit risky from Ping. Max is now joining his teammate towards B. Cyril haven't found the first frag, as you said, probably wanted to play for information rather than anything, but even then, you know, that information only lasts 10-15 seconds before Cyril could have moved to any other part of the map. Middle is their choice. Giraffe, back turned. He's switching between the angles. He's going to be holding short. It's all about timing, Max. Spotted, bomb dropped, second man's there, and now MMS can make the run before Cyril even gets there. Does have time to back towards A, and that's what MMS is listening out for. But indeed, it is a B committal. MMS, he's been such a performer for this Viperio side so far. A bomb plant, Cyril's going to punch in the digits. More importantly, MMS has already gotten way too close to Cyril. He's not going to expect this whatsoever. What a round from MMS.
That's huge. Again, there's a guy that we continue to sing the praises. When Marco came in towards this roster, a lot of people questioned it, right? Is it the right call? Is it the right decision to kind of take Viperio to the next level? And he continues to prove these people wrong, that he is worthy of this level. And, I mean, justifying how important he is, how crucial he is to the success of Viperio. On Vertigo, for me, I think he was one of the most important factors in what won them that map. And in that round, specifically, it was him. Fantastic ones further. 4-5. A bomb plant gives Endpoint some money, but it's not great. Just a hero AK for Cyril.
Pistols here for the Endpoint CEX side. Rifles, of course, for Viperio. Haven't really started building up their financials just yet. It'll be another round that they're going to need to invest something back in because Cyril He's managed to find the first. Still 4 more to go here. CT side still at large though. As I said earlier, it's rifles against pistols. But an AK in Surreal's hands certainly could hurt. Nerds. What's happened? Oh, is he alright? He's in underpass. He was like back turned, so maybe, I don't know if he was playing anti-flash or if he'd lagged out. It seems like he's alright.
He's alright, yeah. Good to see. I mean, damage has been dealt as well, so I think it'll be able to happen. Of course, with ping falling, Viperio, they're a little bit spaced out. They're just playing that 2-2 split here, but one in rotation. But the rotation's long.
You hear the spam. Giraffe dropping the molly towards apartments, ensuring that there's going to be no push. A flashbang behind it actually blinds himself, but creates the illusion that, you know, if I was throwing the flash, am I going to make the jump? I probably wouldn't have blinded myself. Nertz has made his way forward towards the A side. Giraffe has found Thomas though. Swing coming out from MMS. He is able to hold his nerve and keep cool. Spots the bomb out on short here. Giraffe, problem is he's pretty stranded. Needs Gizmy to kind of help out and bail him out of the round. Bomb plant's going to be the priority. Gizmy can't hit a shot. 2v3.
He's fluffed his lines there. That's allowed the bomb to go down. Nade will come through, but it's too late. I mean, a decent amount of damage could have been dealt, but Surreal taking away MHL as well. That was a lot of damage to one Molotov. And one more will fall. MMS could make it a double. One lurking in the smoke, and he's not long lived for the world. It's a 1 versus 1. And MMS, we sung his praises. Can he step up once further? He's the IGL of Max, tucked in towards bench, and no longer live for the world. MMS, a quad clutch. And what a round it is from him once again.
Marco. What a sick round. Oh my words. Another hold from him, another clutch, another scenario that he should never have put himself into. Yet he still comes out on top. There's a tech pause to come in, and I'm wondering, I reckon Endpoint have called it, and it's probably on the Nertz issue, right? More than anything else. Apparently it's for Viperio, not for Endpoint.
Could be artist again, to be fair.
Yeah, it could be. But at the end of the day, that is an unreal round for MMS to be winning. 3 in the clutch. The fact that the molly does so much damage in the first place is quite concerning, because if Endpoint keep alive, you'll probably find there's a decent chance that there's a trade. That was a Deagle and an AK, and he fought the Deagle first.
Yeah, I think that initial HE that came through as well kind of lulled Endpoint into a false sense of security, thinking, okay, well, they've burned most of their utility, so we should be alright. But then they walk into the Molotov, and I've been right in saying MHL was trying to make his way onto his bulk, but because the molly did so much damage, he was forced just to be in sort of no man's land, and him, Surreal, both fall, and leaves Max all alone. It's a great round individually from MMS stepping up once again. I mean, he continues just to be such a crucial factor to the success of Viperio, and I mean, you really do love to see it. From what was a 5-0 start in favor of Endpoint, MMS and Co have really started to make this super competitive now, and the world, in fact, in which the rest of this half is pretty one-sided over towards Viperio.
It's scary. It's scary that we're talking upsets, we're talking drama, and that's been the case the entire series, right? It's, as I said, 3 maps where it ends in 29 rounds, 16-13. It was Endpoint that won map 1, Viperio secured the next 2, and so, you know, you're thinking about it, Mirage, it has to be won by Endpoint. Sure, it's their map pick. Those are the kind of rounds that you've got to be converting if you're Endpoint. It's a 3v2, it's a post plant. Sure, it's an eco, so in the grand scheme of things, you know, you've got to buy in the next round anyway, but that's one of those where you think back, and if you are to lose this BO5, and you are to, like, think back to rounds that could have meant everything, that's one of them that you should 100% be winning.
Yeah, exactly that. I mean, there's the blessing here with a tech pause. It's just a moment of a breather, have a conversation, you know, what's going right, what's going wrong. And, you know, for Endpoint, of course, the fact that they've lost control of this map already is slightly concerning signs. You've got to remember, this is normally an insta-ban for Viperio. It's normally a map in which they don't ever like to play. So the fact that they themselves are already making it competitive could spell some dark times going forward, because we've already built this narrative up and beat it to death in the sense that Viperio seems to be better on their team side, and every map we've seen it. Ancient, it was the case. Vertigo, once again, more the same, and Nuke, all as well. T-side Viperio is their scariest side. So if they're already looking very decent towards the CT, God knows what's going to happen towards that C side. Maybe more of what we've seen in previous maps. So for now, I got to say, Viperio got to be pleasantly surprised. I'm pleasantly sort of, you know, happy with how things are going.
I mean, considering this starts from 5-0 down as well, right? And the fact that not only have you responded and gone to 5-all, the collateral is maybe you can start to push out even further. You can start to gather that lead. Viperio have done a great job so far, and I'd like to mention one man individually, MMS. What a brilliant map he's already having, but on top of that, the series he's been having is unreal. I don't think the rating quite makes up for the impact and how valuable of an asset he's been for this Viperio side.
Yeah, I mean, you know, in a way, MMS, he's coming towards this roster and he's playing kind of, you know, quite a lot of time anchor roles, right? But his success rate is unbelievable. And on rotates as well, the ability to be able to isolate fights the way he can is proving to be such a, as I mentioned already, kind of crucial to the success. Thankfully, our tech pause is done and dusted. We get back underway now, but I mean, what a performance we've seen so far. For Viperio, it's a great opportunity for them to take a lead and, well, once again, really hurt that economy of Endpoint.
Round 11, a chance for Endpoint to resume their lead. A gap that they never thought they'd give away to Viperio so quickly and so easily. It's happened. 5-all. Decent leg shot from MHL to kick things off, but Artist towards underpass could be a menacing factor, especially when it's nearly a 2-for-1. He's trying to bait out Surreal. The flashbang's good. He's able to hold the angle. Gizmy's going to go run in to try and support his teammate. A smoke behind the molly. It might just give him a bit of space to work with as Gizmy continues to pepper down with the A1S. The AWP will be able to get out of the round, and that is a massive chunk of damage done to Endpoint at the beginning here.
Yeah, great start, really is. Down to 4. Surreal, barely alive, 14 points of HP. And granted, Ping and Artist both aren't looking too healthy, but it's not exactly the world of MMF is sung his praises. This time, he's deleted.
What a sick shot from Thomas. Flashbangs are out. Ping now jump spotting from CT. Would have been spotted by Thomas, which is why the molly goes in that direction. Artist going to get mollied off the angle as well. Gizmy blind, but he's going to sit behind the smoke. Mighty Max has got to be careful because his life, and not only that, the bomb is compromised. Gizmy tries to use the smoke even more. Thomas reads into the play. An Artist, after a collateral that puts them a man and a bit up, might just be all for nothing. Giraffe on a flank. Another clutch required for Viperio this time. From a man that's been pretty quiet throughout to date. He's able to find his first, drops a smoke in as well to try and give a bit of space and to work around it. Thomas, got to be careful here. Head spotted, and well, he knows where the rifler is. Obviously, MHL's in towards CT. Creeping through the smoke. Hearing the steps, takes the peek. MHL will have him drop. 6-5, Endpoint in front.
Endpoint clamber it back. First round we've seen them, of the last 6 go in their favour. It was 5-0, then went 5-all. But for now, Endpoint, it's a bit of breathing room because of Viperio, yes, they've been winning rounds, but they've been very expensive. And to the point where now, of course, they don't really have any money to work with. In towards round number 12, it has to just be pistols coming through. Not expecting too much. If they can find a couple of consolation kills, it'll be nice. But in the grand scheme, this should be pretty comfortably chalked up to a 7th on the board and a 2-round lead once further.
Smoke towards mid again to block the vision of Viperio. I'm wondering, are we going to get like a swan dive out of the window and into like the connector play? Don't quite know. Nonetheless, molly towards short. Surreal sits under it, patiently waits. Spams away at a first, the second. Ping does actually get one. One more for Ping. 3v3. Damage is pretty good. Nerds has got to be careful because he's tagged up by a Tad. Ping, unfortunate, wrong place, wrong time. Nerds continues to swing and gets the dink. 2 points of health the difference. Endpoint up to a 7th, but at least they make it somewhat expensive here, the Viperio side.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, that was a kind of fun round. Not expecting anything. And, well, for now, one of those scenarios where we don't really need to look too deeply in towards the previous. Pause will come through, and I'm assuming this is attack one. And probably a good opportunity for Viperio to have a conversation about how they want to go about things on towards their CT side. Now, with a buy coming through, but maybe a slightly janky one at that, they are a little bit on the more nervous side, I guess you could put it. After waiting to see how things are. For Endpoint, they're looking more comfortable now, and they really have a good opportunity to guarantee a lead at the half. It's more a question of can they take it any further. Like we said, last 2 maps have both been 8-7 halves. So can Endpoint do one better, extend it to a 9-6, at least have just a tad more breathing room, which seems to be the difference.
A lot on the line right now. Viperio, yet again, playing the game of chase. Giraffe going to beat the mid smoke, and so he wants to get out towards mid himself. Flashes are pretty good. Nerds is going to be so damn blind, but actually the CT side, how on earth has a kill not come in? Nerds is 7 points of health, blind as anything from the get-go. FAMAS can't find anything from Artist. Gizmy and Ping 2v5.
It's falling apart. Janky bite, janky play. It's been pretty rough here for Viperio. And now the two remaining M4s. I mean, you can't expect too much of them. They would need God's gift to make this one work. But we'll go down over towards A momentarily. There we go. Viperio, I think for these remaining two, it's just keep hold of what you can, right? Get out of dodge. Keep the rifles ticking across because there's no chance to making these work. If they can drop Nerds, upgrade to an AK, that'll be nice. But I don't think it's even really a necessity. But they are walking in towards him.
Just got to save the guns. No point, you know, going too overextensive. No point sending it. If you do that, then, yeah, I mean, expect death. For Ping, as long as he doesn't go any further forward, he'll be alright.
Oh, it's quick. That's
Unlucky.
seriously quick.
Unlucky. It happens. Yeah, MHL on the angle. It's literally the crack angle, right? He's just holding it the minimally he can. And, yeah, just gets wrecked. Unlucky. Gizmy does save the M4 for his team. It'll be an eco. Ultimately, though, 5-8. Is this a gap too far gone already? You think about it. If it's an eco, it's 5-9. The best you can do is 6 on the CT side. I think we were expecting a little better out of Viperio here.
Yeah, I gotta agree. I mean, obviously there's the caveat of, like we were saying earlier, this isn't a map in which they very often play, right? It's normally their insta-ban, so on paper, if you're asking me before this game, you know, before the entire game started, you asked me, I'm saying, okay, there's no chance that Viperio are taking Mirage just because they don't like this map. As a roster, it's not something that they usually play, and they haven't for a very long time, but the kind of momentum they had off the back of the previous two, Vertigo and Ancient, looking so good for them. I was thinking there's maybe a world in which they have some, I guess, aces up their sleeve, but not to be. Endpoint have kind of recouped a lot of their losses. 8-5 now, and into the closer round of the half. Should be a 9th. And there we go. Mighty Max race start.
Zeus towards underpass. Do like making use of those tasers, don't they? The lads over at Viperio. Not that it matters. The rest of the team has kind of been put to the wayside. Ping, the last man left. Zeus kill would be very impressive at this point in the rounds. Mighty Max hasn't even moved. He's got the bomb. He's holding T-spawn. Would have spotted his opponent. And now Ping just tries to escape. MHL, missed shot. That's an AWP. Expecting a push from behind. Still wielding the USP to try and get a grip of that. Spotted out Surreal, but just hits the shots quicker with the AK, and ultimately a 9th on the board for Endpoint, as we would have expected. It's the last of the half here. Can Viperio put a 6th on the board?
It feels unlikely, but of course, I mean, better buy to come through in towards this one. Endpoint just look a lot better now compared to Vertigo and Ancient on their T side. More consistent. I think, you know, when we saw towards kind of the brilliance of Endpoint on Vertigo and Ancient, especially on their T side, it was kind of, you know, flash in the pan sort of plays, right? It was every now and again, but nothing consistent at all. This is looking a lot better. Granted, I mean, they did lose 5 rounds in a row, but since then, they've recovered. And that's all that matters. It's not about how you fall, it's about how you get up. And Endpoint are looking a lot better and on the up right now. Could go into the half at double digits.
Artist fires off, doesn't connect. Warp was holding the underpass play. Has to give that up now. Like all the information, and you can't really peek with the AWP. You've basically got everything you can without getting the kill. It's very, very silent so far. Very, very slow. Endpoint don't want to make a mistake. And they force Giraffe to be the first victim to it. Nuts finds the opening kill, goes for the spam through the smoke. Gizmy still over the top of it. As it starts to fade, hits the shot, and he's able to slip back as well.
That's it. All burst is 4. Double stacking towards under for Viperio, but I think Surreal would have heard this. Surely would have heard Gizmy rotating over, spotting 1 towards sticking. Now there's 3 players towards A. The question is, do Endpoint even know there's the 3rd here? The 2nd player on the... Wow, Gizmy will fall. Artist will step up.
As you said, a complete oversight though for Endpoint could be that bulk play. And that's the bomb dropped on site. Surreal's going to be blind. MMS looking for the kill. It's so sloppy. Ping's there to bail him out. But MHL, the AWP in a 1v3, going to be mollied off, going to be naded, going to be in all sorts of problems. Flustered is the word to be used in there for Endpoint at the half-time whistle. They do concede a 6, but they are up by 3. The half-time whistle gives Endpoint a bit of a buffer. A pistol round feels do or die for Viperio. Can they claim it? We'll find out after the break. Don't go anywhere.
If you would keep me waiting, I would wait a lifetime. In tricky situations, I will be a lifeline. Nobody's meant to be fighting alone. That's why I'm taking you home. I never felt something like this before, no. Keep coming back for you time after time. Maybe I'm losing my mind, but I know I'll never leave you behind, no. Baby, I got you. When you feel like falling, I'll be there to prove, yeah, that baby, I got you. No matter the distance, no matter the hoops, yeah, baby, I got you. When you feel like falling, I'll be there to prove, yeah, that baby, I got you. No matter the distance, no matter the hoops, yeah. Baby, I got you, 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 baby, I got you, I got you, I got you, I got you. Ocean in between us, still I feel your heartbeat. There's something about
The first time we get a 9-6 combination after 15 rounds of Counter-Strike between Viperio and Endpoint. 8-7, the realms in which Ancient and Vertigo were both won by Viperio. Didn't matter what way around they were, they managed to close the show. But 10-5 down was a little too far. Is 9-6 going to be the sweet spot? We'll find out here in the second half. Viperio now take to the T side of Mirage, and they are 10 rounds away from claiming the ESL Premiership title and moving forward ultimately with that conference spot, and to take Endpoint away from what could be their 8th title in a row. Fast towards B. Giraffe wants to send it out towards J. Almighty Max, half blind, doesn't matter. Thomas a second, pinged as trade. It is a 3v5 originally to work from. Cyril will find Gizmy, 2v4. Bomb is dropped. Artist is going to have a knife kill before they even get the Giz going for the retake. I like it. It's money in his pockets, and now he starts to look for fights as he finds a second man. 2v2. Thomas is low, and Ping, he knows that there's a man on backside Viperio. No way do you steal this one away. Thomas is 3 points of health. Ping takes to the fight. It's a hold from Artist as he continues to spam away with the USP. A 2v4 is criminal, but the fact that there's a knife kill in the mix is absolutely disgusting. Viperio have 7.
That's brilliant. They needed a pistol just to keep the conversation open, keep that door at least a little crack, and they do exactly that. It went down to the finest margins, but the T side, brilliant double swing coming through, and I think for Thomas, it was like a deer in headlights, didn't exactly know where to focus. Endpoint, stunned a little bit. And should go for a full eco in towards round number 17 for Viperio. That is a great round. And off the back of the buy for them and the lack of buy for Endpoint, it should be them up to 8.
Five USPs for Endpoint in a round where realistically they should have had rifles and Viperio would be the ones suffering financially. Artist with a knife kill brings forward an AK and a fair chunk of util. Flashes are in. Giraffe, okay, does go down. Nerds a second, picks up the AK, does get traded by Gizmy. A very important kill to be had. 3 versus 3, there's still guns to pick up. The bomb tries to move away. Artist is looking to collect some damage. MMS from short is able to pick up Thomas. 2v3. Still a Galil at the end of apartments that can be picked up. Maybe even 2 of them. MHL moves forward to try and pick up something. He's got a Mac 10. And indeed, he's going to move forward and try and get things done. Nonetheless, 3v2 Viperio should have number 8, but this is already a bigger cost than I think they were expecting.
They've heard MHL rotating. They've heard both, actually. They're not all too well. Bomb will go down planted for front triple. Planted for Con. And once again, MMS can just post up. I don't think you need to do anything special through Murder Hole, Murder in the Name, in the game too, as MHL will fall on a surreal. Oh, sumptuous tap on towards Gizmy. But to find more is going to be difficult for here. In a 1 versus 2. One in towards stairs, the other unknown.
I mean, you've got to give it some welly if you're surreal. At the end of the day, it doesn't really matter. 1 bullet left. There you go. That's all he's got. Make it count. Nope, not even going to get to fire it off. MMS. He's able to take him down. 3 casualties for Viperio, and considering it was an eco for Endpoint, that is a right result for the CT side. And now, of course, they can bring forward rifles, while Viperio... What can you do? Galils, SMGs, maybe Gizmy goes for an AK armor and a flashbang. There you go. Read my mind. 9-8. Let's see if they can tie game.
That's it. Exactly that. For now, Viperio, they're just going to bring in what they had prior. I mean, a bonus round is a loose term for them because it was made somewhat expensive. But a good opportunity for Viperio to tie things up and once again re-break Endpoint's economy, give them all the advantages in their court. Everything could be on a linchpin in this round, but if Endpoint take it, same situation over towards Viperio.
That's one way to start at MHL. Gizmy does get your trade in, so 4v4 does get naded up as well, but Giraffe has got a flank. Saw the back of Surreal, maybe just wants more out of this round, and he does indeed pull the trigger. Nertz is gone as well, 2v4, and there you go, it's a save call for Endpoint. 9 all it shall be, an M4A1S and an M4A4 saved. But that isn't the outcome that Endpoint were looking for. That isn't ideal. Oh, they might not even get away. Okay, never mind. I was going to say, might not get away with it because Giraffe was looking like he was hungry for kills. But it's all right now. He plays the sensible one. Start to build up that T-side economy.
Yeah, that's it. Exactly that. Bomb will go off and Viperio tying this game up. It's like we alluded to at the halfway mark. What we like to see in terms of, well, I guess the T side of Viperio. I mean, they're fantastic on the T side. We've now seen that across all 3 maps. It wasn't quite good enough in towards Nuke, but in the grand scope of things, the T side from Viperio has been more consistent and, well, one of those things that you have to be also cautious of if you are Endpoint. And now they're definitely going to start feeling the pressure under the cost, under the microscope on their CT side is all tied square. And a mixed buy in towards round number 19 could be allowing Viperio up to double digits.
As you said, Viperio in pole position to take the lead in this game. Smoke towards window, Surreal. Gonna try and calculate that someone will be playing on the headshot angle from underpass. He heard Ping pull the pin on the smoke. Ultimately warranting some more spam. Need to go through. In the meantime, both rifles have gutted out the B side of the map. So Endpoint actually in a position where they can prep more for the A play until Gizmy has the read. finds the frag, 5v4.
Oh, slow down a little bit. In for the flank. Max will find one. Gives me falling. Numbers are brought level. I mean, still, advantage in the court of Viperio because trades benefit the T side and the bomb will go down. Just debating as to where to plant it. And it will be planted, of course, for Market Artist. That's one cross and Nert will fall. Looking for a second. On the swing, we'll find it.
He knew the second man was there, heard the steps, all the information. And actually, if you look at Artist's position, he's locked Endpoint into B apartments. Both players are now stuck, unless if they take the exit through under. That's double digits. Not only that is it double digits, it could be all of these players going down. Money is all right, though, so it doesn't matter if they fall or not. Endpoint just want to keep it, so there's extra leeway heading into round number 20. But it's going to be 10-9, Viperio in front, and they are 6 rounds away from taking the grand finals here in the ESL Premiership and having themselves not only the pride of saying that they are the best team in the UK at this very moment, but on top of that as well, they get that conference spot and a fair chunk of change in their back pocket as well.
Spot on. Exactly that. First sight at double digit. That's huge for momentum for Viperio. I mean, there's confidence flowing through them. And those individuals really starting to make an impact. I mean, if we can see Gizmy join the lot, right, and continue to find some form.
Yeah.
Then they really get scary. Because at the moment, it is feeling a little bit like a 4 versus 5 in terms of firepower. If Gizmy steps up as well, it becomes a completely different story where Endpoint might be blown out of the water, and history might be made here on Mirage.
Crazy times. Endpoint. I mean, you can say that they're confident. You can say, you know, that they've been here a million times before. They are 100% going to start feeling some nerves, especially when a B play barrels towards them. They know Surreal's in that back corner. Giraffe will fall. MHL, the second to frag. Gizmy doesn't expect Mighty Max close towards B. And it is a stack for Endpoint, and it pays off in dividends. As Artist and Ping left in the 2v5. I mean, they're going to be looking to wind their way back in. MHL has got the angle held down to a T. And now Ping just left to walk in. Fortunately, for this T side, you know, win or lose, they still had enough money to rebuy all the rifles in the world. Yeah. So, you know, if you want to look at positives here, it is that this doesn't financially impact Viperio as much. But certainly would have been nice if it went their way.
Exactly. I mean, yeah, there's the positive side of the thing in terms of like for Viperio, may I say, they are going to have money regardless of the situation. Of course, for them, it was more a case of can they keep momentum ticking across 3 players over towards B, all looking towards short, and they'll see off Ping, only finding 1 casualty, 1 consolation kill. As we're all tied square, once again, these 2 sides have been inseparable, and for a long time as well, the narrative, the story has been, you know, Endpoint are the most dominant side within UK CS, and no one really compares to them. Well, we now know that isn't true. We know that Viperio into the breach as well. 1 pin, they're on their way to being in that conversation too. The level of Counter-Strike within the UK and Irish scene is continuing to improve, and that trickle-down effect is allowing for the lower tiers to follow in the same suit.
Nades in. No damage done to either party just yet. Endpoint. Now they know what it's like to win here on this CT side. Let's see if they can barrel any more off the back of it. Nertz delivers the first. Very nicely done in the smoke. Hold on, Nertz, he's going to try and move forward. There's someone below you, fella. Very messy spray. Ping needs to find a trade. Nertz will find a third. Off the back of it as well, MHL finds a tag. Giraffe just about keeps his life. Gizmy will trade 2v5 to 2v3. Got to be careful here. Thomas could lose his life, and Gizmy hits the shot. You talk about he needs to step up. This certainly would be a massive round to do it in. His second. Viperio's third in the 2v5. 2 versus 2. Both players making noise towards B. Surreal would have picked up on all of this, though. And I don't like that Viperio have let go of their shift keys here, because Surreal will now know, and he's called his teammate in. Giraffe, he'll be taken down. Gizmy, 1 versus 2. 20 seconds left. Needs to find them both. Finds Mighty Max. Knows that Cyril should be out on short. Did jiggle. Didn't spot him on the angle. 17 seconds. Peeks out. Spots him on the right. Tries to hit the adjustment, but Cyril's got it covered. But from a 2v5, that was promising. 4 kills. Endpoint's money is going to be on a knife's edge in this round.
That's it. 10 to 11. I mean, for Viperio, again, it's unfortunate that they just can't quite get control of the map, and I think it leaves them to have very limited options about where they want to finish. They're kind of forced into a bit of a Hail Mary over towards B, and that doesn't quite work in the 2 versus 2. As you mentioned, by letting go of the shift key, Cyril had all the information needed, and all he has to do is wait his turn. 10 to 11. Viperio in towards round number 22, a low bar, and a healthy nade will come through as well as they just drop like flies. A flawless round, done in a matter of seconds. Wiped off the face of the earth there, Viperio.
Yeah, expected, right? You're on pistols. They go for something goofy. They go for an A-rush. Just try and put up numbers, whatever. Doesn't get anything. That's all right. That was the round that you can have some fun and test something, right? Artists is like, do you know what? Let's have some fun. Let's go for something fast. Let's rush out A. And all that is as well is it just changes pace a little bit, you know? Like, they go for a fast play in the previous. Maybe they go for something slower in this round just to try and throw Endpoint off the scent even further as to the ideas of what Viperio are trying to put up here on the T side.
That's for sure. Looking towards mid, Nerds taking some contact. Actually going to push aggressive off the back of it. They got a lot of mid control on Endpoint. And same can be said for Ramp. Peek and hedge are off. The shadow will be spotted first. That's all the information needed on MHL. Leg spotted, waiting, holding. Oh, but not going to find anything.
This is a 5v5. Oh, Giraffe, what a shot. Cyril under balcony. Does this get checked? Does it get flushed out? Gizmy. Does he see him over the top of the smoke? Nerds will find the frag. Ping does not opt to trade. Swing over the top. Giraffe will find a second. Cyril, he's able to drop his teammate though, and 2 kills towards the A site. Balcony unchecked. Great shot from Max. 3v1. Ping has got everything to do.
It feels like this one might be done already. I mean, for Ping, this is so difficult. Yes, Max is low, but 40 seconds to work with. And the entire site to clear. I mean, the lack of information is probably the most crucial thing. It takes so much time just getting himself out of ramp. Never mind anything past that. This is rough. 30 seconds. Just under now. And for him, no utility either means it has to just be raw.
Oh, it's from Ping. I mean, he's going to give it a good attempt. 15 seconds, though. Wants to clear Palace. Make sure no one's going to deny the plant when I plant for default. Ultimately, though, there's a man in CT. Taps the bomb. Expects it. Gets the kill. There's your first. And this time, he'll stick it. Problem is, 22 points of health. MHL's the high HP player. And he just walks into the Orcs crosshair. I like the idea from Ping. Tried to get a bit proactive, you know. Kills the guy CT. Tries to cross back before the rotates arrive. Just a bit unfortunate that he walks into MHL before the retake really starts. 13 to 10, but a bomb plant. Money for Viperio. And that could be promising.
That's it. I mean, you know, there's a real silver lining there. The fact that, you know, he gets the bomb down at the very least. It means that maybe not this round, went towards the next, have a comfortable buy to come through. I think for the T side of Viperio, it's not really worth investing in here. Yes, they can pick up AK's half armor, but is it worth it? Not really. So it should be. Endpoint up to 14. Attack force coming through for Viperio. They know they're under the cusp a little bit. And on a map in which is not their strong point, while they've made it competitive, it's looking like Inferno is getting ever closer. And all 5 maps needed to decide who is going to be the champion here in the autumn season of ESL Premiership 2022.
$13-10. A real good chance the Endpoint can make it 14 here. And if they do, what do we say, you know? 16-10 could be likely. Thomas, opening kill, Ping removed. Gizmy went for the hero rifle, everyone else on the pistols. Artist takes a little bit of damage. Giraffe does actually catch out the jump here from Mighty Max. Unfortunately, his teammates on short don't really get stuck in before the round even starts. And ultimately, he's left alone, and an easy M4 shot for Surreal will be able to make it 14 here for Endpoint. One more full buy here for Viperio. They need 6 in a row to claim the title, 5 out of 6 for OT. Otherwise, we will be going to a decider of Inferno.
One more. A lot to be done. I mean, at the moment, it really is in a kind of a position where for Viperio, yeah, this buy, if it doesn't go in their way, this map is done. This is probably their last full buy if things continue on this current trend. So he'll make his way in towards short. That's great movement from him. Information gaining towards mid as well. Does he even, or is he even aware that ping is crossed?
Already an exit in MMS. Not ideal for Viperio here. Surreal finding a second. What a clinical shot that is. Down to 3, bare bones for Viperio. And we got the thought, we had the idea that it could be a full 5 mapper. And it certainly does feel that way now. Gizmy does find one. Slips through the con smoke, finds the frag, expecting Nerds to be in connector. Or rather, in underpass, excuse me. I mean, right guess, just can't get the kill. Now he tries to back away. Sick trade from MHL. Just the immediate swing towards middle. Thought about someone coming in from top mid. Just a little closer than expected. Now it's Artist against 3. AWP in his pockets. I'm guessing it's a save for the last.
Yeah, that's it. Just keep hold of it. I mean, you already said that this potentially could be the last full buy. And you look at the money across the board over towards Viperio. It is gruesome. Endpoint up to 15. I mean, well, unless Artist pulls off the most bonkers 1 versus 3 clutch, but you'd probably expect it not to happen. It's going to be Inferno on the brink here. I mean, I guess, you know, like we said, for Viperio, it's on a map in which they normally are comfortable picking in towards. So for them to make it competitive against the best domestic team here in this region, I mean, that's a lot of credit to how strong they are and how deep the map pool of Viperio is. But unfortunately not to be here. Time will tick away, and that AWP fortunately will be tailored across in towards round number 26, which potentially could be the final round here in towards Mirage. 15 to 10. Endpoint need just 1 to push it on towards our 5th and final Inferno. All good best of 3s are decided on Inferno. Well, this is the best of 5, and that's where it's going to be decided.
Viperio have to make it hard for themselves. However, I will say one thing. First time in forever, Endpoint have been taken to 5. So I guess that's something going for them. At least they know at the end of today, no matter the result, they were damn close. The closest anyone has ever been in taking down Endpoint here in a BO5 especially. Let's see here. Round 26 could just be the last on Mirage. Viperio need all 5. Let's see if they can do it. First step, it's a big one here.
Yeah, for now. Where we stand, I mean, for Viperio, yes, they've got some buys to work with, but even when the AKs are collected, I mean, half armor for draft isn't great. The lack of utility is going to be so distinct in towards the latter stage of this round. And post-plant's going to be so difficult to set up. Slow tempo, looking for some ramp aggression to come through, and Giraffe will get control.
Thomas is doing very well in holding back the ramp pressure as of right now. Lots of noise made on ramp. Giraffe finds the opening kill. So that's promising. Thomas has to use the smoke on top of the molly. And that's going to give the ruse that someone's under bow. Do they expect the sandwich play? They will now. Giraffe's had his head taken off. Thomas still alive, but only good for 1 and a bit. And now it's a 2v4. Viperio accelerate. They get a bomb plant. It's 11 on the board. 4 more to go.
Job not done yet for Endpoint, it seems. A lifeline extended over towards Viperio. 4 remaining alive, and a potential for upgrades as well on towards those 2 Galils. That's massive. Piece off of an M4. I think there's even a couple of AKs floating around for Endpoint as well. So, all in all, much better position for them to be in. Gives me having a little peer in. Just fall back over towards window. Of course, for Surreal, it's about keeping hold of that M4 when it's granted. The money to Endpoint is never really going to be an issue unless we go towards, the full round of regulation, which potentially even could beckon overtime. For now, Up to 11. 4-round deficits. There's a world. I mean, I still think it's quite improbable, but there's definitely a world in which Viperio can pull off something instrumental, monstrous in terms of taking this back into their control and maybe even keeping the dream alive of 3-1 overall in the series.
Pause to come in. Certainly going to be an exciting one now to see how Endpoint reacts. They've got stacks of cash. It's enough in the bank to survive the rest of the half, it feels like. Let's just see, because there's still a lot to dive into. 4 more rounds in this, and obviously if Viperio don't make the comeback complete, there's at least 16 rounds of Inferno to watch, probably more with how close this entire series has been. Let's see here. Endpoint, what do they have? Can they just close it out? Pause has taken forever. I'm guessing now this is going to be technical rather than tactical. Unless it was a double whammy and I missed the one in the middle. And I'm guessing, indeed, it is a tech pause. And we don't quite know the issue right now, which is going to be a bit unfortunate.
I hate to say it, you really do. But where things stand right now, you know, actually, this could be a blessing over towards Viperio. I mean, yes, they've kind of extended the lifeline, but if they can just halt a lot of that progress that Endpoint have been making, all of the momentum that's kind of in their sails right now, this could allow them back in towards this game, potentially even go all the way to the 15-all, right? Pushes out of regulation towards overtime. We have to wait and see. I mean, that's what they're hunting for here if they want to take things on Mirage, but it's not job done.